Let's get to Noel, I think, out of California.
Noel, Noel, Noel. Welcome to church, Noel.
Hey, what's up, Jesse? How are you?
All is well. How you doing?
I'm doing good. All is well.
Right on. Amazing.
Yeah, Jesse, I wanted to. I mean, it's unfortunate we couldn't come down and see you at actual church today.
Yeah.
But something's been bugging me this week because I kind of saw this coming even before they declared it. I feel like people they pump their brakes when the light's yellow, or they anticipate the yellow before it even turns yellow.
Yes.
And they're already stopping, and then that's what I noticed happening.
Yeah.
So I want to know. I mean, we don't trust the government, especially in California, because we know they're all liberals and half of them are Satanists openly, and the other half probably secretly. So why are we obeying them telling us that we can't get together for church?
Because
why are the church leaders afraid to disobey that?
That's a good question. The reason I personally decided, to be safe rather than sorry, is because I've been paying attention to the president and what he's been saying about it and how he's trying to prevent this thing from getting worse. And so he's taking these actions to prevent. And so when I paid attention to him, I'm like, well, you know what? Let me think of the people too. And that's what made me decide not to have people inside the building at church. I don't trust the government either. I do believe that they are really blowing it out of proportion. But I'm just taking precaution.
No, I understand that. And I think from last week till today, California did kind of, change the law a little bit. Or they didn't even make a law. They just, I don't know. It's an executive decision on behalf of the governor. But still,
I don't think that the churches were involved in that. I thought I could be wrong, but I think they said, because the church is not subject to the government per se, they said the churches were not involved in having to shut down. They were hoping that the churches.
All churches are shut down.
Yeah, they were hoping that the churches would volunteer and shut down. But I don't think they were. I don't believe they were forcing the church to do it. I don't think they're forcing anyone at this point, but they were forcing the churches to do it.
Right.
But you have to be careful with that too, because if you're not careful of the ego, your ego will want to say, no, I'm not going to let the government tell me what to do. I don't trust the government, and they're not going to tell me what to do. When we know that there is something going on, I don't know if it's a cold or the flu or there's a new virus or what, but something is happening around the world right now. And so it's best to be careful rather than be sorry.
Right. Well, I understand that temptation, from the very beginning. Like, I know, the devil is tricky and he'll get you from one end or another. But I feel like, as Christians, if there's any group of people that should be put a strong face towards death, it's us, because we're not afraid of dying. We understand that this is in a sense, a process into something else. And for me, it's a little disappointing. And I think it kind of separates the wheat from the chaff in a sense, because, and I'm not saying that this is necessarily you, but I've seen other church leaders who kind of rant and rave so much, and yet they were closing down shop before even the governor had put this order in.
When you say put a strong face towards
death.
What does that mean?
Of dying. We shouldn't be afraid of dying. We shouldn't be afraid of anything but God.
Oh, but I'm not. Well, I don't know about the other preachers, but I didn't do it because I was afraid of dying or not dying. I'm never dying anyway. But I didn't put it because of that. I did it because I just, I have to listen to the president. And,
I understand that.
And he's trying to prevent the situation from getting worse, from people being affected even more so. I just did it because I don't want people to get sick if they don't have to. But I don't know what you mean by putting the faith toward death.
Putting a strong face towards death.
What does that mean exactly? Because you may be making an interesting point. I just don't understand what that means exactly.
Yeah, what I mean is that, if you're a Christian and I don't mean just in name, but in practice, right? You don't have resentment in your heart. You don't all the things that you could check off that a Christian should be living, and then you shouldn't be afraid of dying. And I think what's getting a lot of people to kind of panic over this thing, and a lot of it obviously is the media hyping it up.
Yes.
But it's people really being afraid of death. They're afraid of getting a disease and dying, as if God willed it, at a snap of a finger, they'll die of something else that same instant. So
are you saying that people should just get together anyway, even after what the president said about it?
Way.
Even after what? Do you trust the president?
I do think Trump has a good heart, but I think he's also subject to be misinformed by people around him.
Do you trust him?
And I do.
And so if the father say, don't go out today because it's going to rain on you, why not just listen to the father? Why put all that other stuff in there? Right.
Well, I guess it's not so much me mistrusting Trump as it is me mistrusting the administration of the state of California, and the more local authorities who hate Trump.
Yeah, but if I would recommend that you pay attention to what he's saying and the way he's doing it and what he's doing.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should do.
Yeah, pay attention to that and keep out with everybody else, but pay attention to what the Father has to say. Because he's so logical in the way that it's so amazing too. What's his name? Noel. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
You know me, I'm black. Noel, pay attention to what the Father says about it, and you will see he's ahead of this thing. And so he's prevented a lot of stuff from happening. And that is the job of the Father, to try to prevent you from falling into that kind of stuff. And keep out on everybody else around. I know there's some crazy rules out there, stupid stuff happening. But pay attention to the Father. Be logical about it. And don't get into your head about it at all. And you won't regret that. You'll live not to regret it.
Right.
And if everybody's freaking out, it's funny, I never thought of being afraid of it because I may die or something like that. But if everybody's freaking out and afraid of it because they may die, then just wish them well, but don't judge them. They don't have faith and they can't help it. So you be that example of what it's like not to have the fear. And maybe one of those people who are running around in fear, someone close to you or some stranger on the street, they may wonder, Noel, why you're not freaking out? I'm freaking out. And you'll be able to tell them how to overcome it. Use everything to be an example of the kingdom of heaven.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Jesse.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Because, for sure, I think the devil does use everything he can against you, and even in a situation like this, he's gonna pump up your ego in one way or another and get you to fall into a trap.
Absolutely, man. He gets involved in everything because his desire is to rob, steal, and kill, destroy.
Right.
So even with things like this and people doing what they do, be aware. Don't you get into thoughts about it. And just know that you know what you know, and don't make up stuff in your head. And and these other people who are trying to influence you to think about things in a certain way, don't go with that. Correct them. Don't go with it. Excuse me. And be an example even in a situation like this.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. I appreciate your call. Good call.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Amazing call. I noticed that a lot of people they are judging the folks who are running around. I see some crazy people running around, but I'm not going to judge them because Satan will use that. Look at them. They don't have faith. They're afraid of this or that. He'll make you feel better than them. He'll make you feel like, oh, you got the faith. You're the tough one, right? But pay attention. Don't believe any of that. Don't believe you're the tough one. And don't believe that you have or don't have faith. You have to live faith. You have to see that you have it. It's an amazing call. Thank you for that call.